This is...
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.
Greetings, blessings, and good fortune, everyone. I got a little preview for you. We got some interesting news this last week, did we here at the Bitcoin Otter Show. I'm going to share it with you. We are now on 97.7 FM, KCYP, The City, and we are not on other platforms. And I'm going to get into that with you, all right? We got a lot to talk about, a lot of good stuff, okay? Some bad stuff mixed in, but hey, it will be a refreshing new perspective on why things are happening the way they are. Tune in to this next episode of the Bitcoin Otter Show if you can. Live. Throw your comments up. If you can't, listen to it afterwards and still throw comments out or emails. We value them here and we respond. Thank you very much. Well, that test is out and we'll be back on in a few minutes. Adios.
This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.
Greetings, blessings, and good fortune, everybody. We're right back from that minor test we got it going on today. Thank you for showing up. If you're here live, I'm going to log into the interface, as it were, on Facebook. See where we're at here. Disregard that title. We're still working on this, ladies and gents. We're still working on it, all right? But suffice it to say that we will come back. And we're not leaving right now. Next week, we'll figure it out. And if we don't, we don't. You know who we are. Anyway, glad you could make it. We're on 97.7 KCYP, The City, here in McAllen. And you know what? We're also out on Facebook. We're out on, what's that radio one? Is it, it's not?
TuneIn Radio.
TuneIn Radio. We're on TuneIn Radio. You can get 97.7 FM KCYP, The City on TuneIn Radio. It's an app. Okay, so if you're having problems getting the reception on a radio, a regular dial-up kind of radio, well then try TuneIn Radio or try the website for 97.7 FM. Now, all that to say that these platforms are where we are posting. In a little bit, I'm going to tell you the ones that we're not on, but at one time we actually were. So, what I'm going to tell you is things change, but we'll get into that later, okay? Now, here's something I want to talk about. Well, before we do that, let's go into our first order of business. And this is not a sermon, this is nothing that I'm preaching, it's just, it hit me pretty good in show prep, and I want to pass it on, because it is something that pretty much sums up our whole show here. It's out of Philemon 1, chapter 1, verse 7. Your love has given me great joy and encouragement, because you, brother, have refreshed the hearts of the saints. Ladies and gents, that is what this show is all about. We want to refresh your hearts. So, do we go over some business that is not so, how would you say, cheerful? Yeah, we do. That's saying we really, and I can't say this in a more constructive way, a better way. We're here for you. This is something that I'm doing so that I can say that I'm doing something, okay? Because I do not want to sit back and do nothing, and I certainly don't want to sit back and do nothing alone. So I'm out here with you. Tiger, good to see you. Pablo, good to see you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Got a good show today. A lot of things to talk about. We already mentioned, our purpose here to refresh the hearts of saints. Man, we don't always act like saints, do we? But God loves us, regardless of, what. Well, maybe not regardless, but He loves us. Okay, His grace is abounding. Thank you, Jesus, because who do I ever need it? Now, we're going to go through those barometers of our economy that I like to go through every week. Gold is at $1,952. No big change there. Silver, $24.66. Same. Bitcoin, $25,950, coming just below $26,000. For me, it's a buying opportunity. For you, you make your own choice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have the hair for it. So, Pablo says amen. All right, Tiger. Thank you, Tiger. I appreciate it. So, the average mortgage rate, okay, I hope for everyone's sake that you're not in a position where you have to move or you have to sell your house or you have to buy another one, because the mortgage rates are ugly right now. So the 30-year rate is at 7.53%. Not good, and it's not coming down. The 15-year rate, 6.83%. Not much better, okay? It's ugly out there in the real estate interest business, which I believe has become a racket of sorts. But, and again, like every other business, there are legitimate, honest people doing these things, okay? But the people who set these rates, they are neither legitimate nor honest. I'll tell you that. So, crypto news. Here's an interesting one, everybody. Bank messaging firm Swift. Now, I've spoken about this, and you may or may not realize it, but there is a system by which all of our transactions, our digital money transactions, you swipe your card, you throw it in the thing, you tap it. Nowadays, you can tap it. So that transaction, whether we're buying a pack of gum or we're buying whatever we're buying, right? Something at Walmart, the whole bill goes on that transaction. It's called the Swift system. Now, we know, because we've been looking at this, that the Federal Reserve wants to put us into what are called central bank digital currencies. They are blockchain tokenized, I won't say weapons, but it is going to be weaponized against us, but it's a currency, okay? It's going to be a completely programmed currency by the Federal Reserve, the privately owned Federal Reserve. They have nothing to do with other than ordering around our government. They are private. Please, look this up. Don't trust me. I really would love for you guys to go down this rabbit hole. If you do want to go down deeper, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. I'll give you a bunch of resources. One of the best is called The Creature from Jekyll Island. When Jekyll Island is the place that the Federal Reserve was basically conceived, if you could say that, the evil. Anyway, so the SWIFT system is going to go to a blockchain system. It's going to go to a blockchain. Okay, now there are many different, I guess you could call them labs, you can call them corporations, you could call them what you want, that have their own proprietary blockchain. So there is not one blockchain in the world. Like, the banking system is one, right? So there's no one blockchain. So a big, how would you say, a big trend nowadays is to try and figure out on what blockchain they will be foisting upon us these digital currencies, these completely centralized digital currencies. They are the opposite of Bitcoin, just so you know. Bitcoin is decentralized. Nobody controls it. That is anathema to the Federal Reserve peeps, because they want to control everything you do. In fact, they want to control you, especially when you exit this world, and they really want to control that, and they want to make it soon. But we're not going to let them do that, are we? So, here's something that I want to tell you about this. You do your own research. I am not any type of financial advisor, okay? Again, I'll repeat this. In regard to any type of higher education, my shadow never darkened the door of any institution of higher education, and I'm kind of happy about that now. But I just want to let you know that I'm not a financial advisor. Now, bank messaging firm Swift leans toward blockchain integration over unifying tokenization after experiments. Ooh, so they experimented, right? So here's what you really want to know. Which blockchain, Otter? Where are they going? What are they leaning to? Now remember, this is just a crypto news article, okay? How the hell are they going to know? And I'm not a financial advisor. But it seems that they're indicating the Chainlink cross-chain interoperability protocol. So basically, you look on your cryptocurrency. I use CTM. Can't remember the exact name of it, but it's the crypto ticker tape. Okay, so basically they'll give you the price of Chainlink, which I believe right now is, like I checked earlier, $5.84 a token. Okay, so Renee, good to see you. Maria, glad to see you. Joel, thank you for tuning in. Thanks, everybody. So just to reiterate real quick, so everybody's on board. the SWIFT system, which is owned by the federally owned private reserve, is thinking of using a proprietary blockchain being represented by the cryptocurrency called Chainlink. Okay? So when you look up Chainlink, it'll tell you right now they're at about $5.84 a coin. Am I telling you, a token, am I telling you to buy Chainlink? I am not. I am not telling you that. I'm just passing along a bit of news that you might want to look up. It's all on you. So, Markets Insider says, and this is an interesting one. It goes on a little bit, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's very interesting because it says that investing $1,000 in Bitcoin, okay, in 2013, when it was still below $100. And what they did was they compared what the investment would be like of your $1,000 was their mark, $1,000. If you invested $1,000 sometime in 2013 at about the $100 mark of Bitcoin, and you invested $1,000 in Tesla, the S&P 500, and Apple, the returns you would have had in Bitcoin dwarf what you would have gotten for the other three, the S&P, Tesla, and Apple. So here are the numbers. You would have had a hypothetical return of 29,801%. Wowzers. In your Bitcoin $1,000 investment. If in 2013 you invested in the S&P 500, you would have had a gain of $3,371. Oh no, I'm sorry. You would have had that in dollars, but we're going in percent, right? So 29,801%, okay, would be the Bitcoin return. S&P 500, 237%. Wow. Big difference. Tesla, if you would have thrown $1,000 at Tesla in 2013, you would have gained, and this is pretty good, 3,219% on your $1,000 investment in 2013. If you would have put it on Tesla, you would have gained 3,219% of your $1,000 investment. Apple, some people love it, some people don't. It's there. If in 2013 you would have invested $1,000, Rin, good to see you. Willie, glad to have you on the show. Awesome. Throw your comments in here, guys. If you like it, you don't like it, whatever. But I'm going to tell you that Apple would have given you a return of 1,438% on your $1,000 investment in 2013. So we have Bitcoin at 29,801% improvement upon your investment since 2013. Against S&P's 237%, Tesla's 3,219%, and Apple's 1,400%. Almost 30,000% return on investment since 2013 on Bitcoin. Awesome, ladies and gents. And this, again, does history prove it's going to happen again? No, it doesn't. And again, I'm not at all a financial advisor, okay? I have no tie. First of all, that's your first indicator. Second of all, we have some good news. Now, you know what? And again, some people might not think it's good news. Financial it could be bad, advisor, it could whatever, okay? But I am here to refresh. We have some good news. Now, you know what? And again, some people might not think the hearts of my brothers and sisters. And I am taking a very, at all, a financial optimistic tack on this. Ladies and gents, if you saw last week's Bitcoin Otter show on YouTube, well, it was taken down. What say you? It was taken down. And right now, we're not on YouTube. We're not on YouTube. Why do I think this is good? Because, ladies and gents, it's truth we're talking here. I am not averse to you checking me, for you to controvert my opinions. Please, if you feel differently about it, let me know. We've got the section for comments. You can either do it while I'm live. You can comment when, the show's already in the logbooks. You can email me, okay? You can email me at bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. Please do that, okay? I mean, I'm not averse to telling you why I believe the way I do. So it all, of course, came around their new campaign to lock us down. So the usual suspects are going to try and lock us down, ladies and gents. They're going to try it. Okay? Now it's up to you to comply or not. They are going to try and do it. Now, they want masks. They got a new vaccine that doesn't work. So not only can you take the old vaccines that don't work and the boosters that don't work, you can now take a new vaccine that doesn't work. All for, well, let's just say their plans. If you trust them, great. If you don't, time to start thinking about our compliance, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to start thinking about it. In fact, it was time before, but if you were mistaken, remiss, or just not paying attention, now might be the time to decide with conviction whether or not you're going to comply or not. I'm just saying, you can decide or you might not have to decide. It's up to you. But I'll tell you what, no one has ever complied their way out of tyranny. Never. Never, because you're just falling right back into what plan they have for you. Anyway, this is why we're not on YouTube. I, apparently mistaken, okay, announced that the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, okay, say what you will about it. I'll say something worse, I'm sure. But the FDA approved the prescribing of ivermectin for humans. We knew this. The FDA approved ivermectin like 60 years ago. Or maybe that was HCQ. Not sure. Let's scratch that. I think that was probably HCQ, hydroxychloroquine, which also, I can't tell you, works for COVID. Can't tell you that. So, what I'm trying to say right now is that the gatekeepers at YouTube shut the gate on the Bitcoin Otter Show, but they will not put us down. Okay? We're still on Facebook. Okay? We're on 97.7 FM, KCYP The City out of McAllen. Again, okay, TuneIn Radio is an app. And if you can't get it on your dial or you're getting fuzzy or whatever, you go to the app TuneIn Radio and you look for 97.7 FM, KCYP The City out of McAllen. And you can get that on your phone, you put it in your YouTube car, you know the thing, right? To quote from the worst president in the world, you know the thing. So, we're going to be on, ladies and gents. I'm going to, how would you say, most likely get on Rumble, because Rumble does not censor people. You can say what you will. Freedom of speech exists on Rumble. But for now, like I said, we're still on Facebook. I got a lot of you friends on Facebook. That's the majority of where I'm getting the views. We had over 150 views on my page alone, and that's not counting the KCYP 97.7 Facebook channel. Check that one out too, okay? They got a lot of good stuff. There's more than just a Bitcoin Otter Show going on KCYP The City here in McAllen, okay? There's some very interesting shows on. Please check it out. Support the city, please. Now, that is just that. And again, I will address any arguments, complaints, or compliments. Just let me know and I can address them. Now, enough of that. And I am kind of a little bit proud too, to be honest with you. The Western Journal. This is kind of it. This is kind of in the same lane. FDA's smug anti-ivermectin post backfires. Agency forced in court again to acknowledge drug is okay to prescribe. Okay, this was out of the Western Journal. Now, I don't know how auspicious the Western Journal may be. It just came up in a search. I used the search term and, up comes the Western Journal. So their smug anti-ivermectin post backfires. So basically, it's on the radar of a lot of people. Okay, we are learning. We are seeing not only what will help us physically, help our families physically, but we are seeing what the so-called authorities will do to shut that down. They'll call it misinformation, disinformation, conspiracy theory. They'll call it anything they can to keep you from keeping yourself and your family healthy. They have no consciences. They have nothing of a moral compass. Don't ever believe otherwise. And if you do so at your own peril. Because, ladies and gentlemen, they mean no good for you. FDA, YouTube, there's nothing about these people. Nothing about the people that run these operations. Nothing about them, not even a bit, cares about you or your family. Don't ever be under the wrong conclusion that they do, because unfortunately you'll suffer for it. Now, the Daily Mail says, now this was a report of an NIH, the National Institute of Health. This is a U.S. government, if you trust government, which I've just warned you about. Anyway, if you like and feel good and warm and fuzzy about listening to the authorities, this is for you. Mask study published by the NIH suggests N95 COVID masks may expose wearers to dangerous level of toxic compounds linked to seizures and cancer. Ladies and gentlemen, these N95 COVID masks do not prevent viruses. How do I know? Because I'm a doctor? No. Because I read doctors. I read people that are qualified to say these things. Okay? That's how I know these things. And how do I know it? Well, the CDC, okay? Criminals in DC. No, I'm sorry. The Center for something of, is it corruption? No, it's not, okay? Center of Disease Control, okay? I'm just kidding, guys. Anyway, they kind of did a Munson, if you guys ever saw it. Remember that old show, Kingpin? It was a movie. Yeah, they Munsoned it. And here's what they did. They came out, because you know these wildfires, these so-called naturally occurring wildfires all around the world that didn't happen until, you know, an election year, and the most important election in the world is coming up. Yeah, those wildfires. They tell people that if you put on an N95 mask, it's not going to help you with the smoke. You got to get out of the smoke. Why doesn't an N95 mask help you when, you know, you're breathing in wildfire smoke? Well, I'd like to inform you on that. Again, check me on this. Okay, if you see me to be in error, if you see me to be off target, please let me know. I will answer you. I'll go through whatever gymnastics I need to do to figure out how to bring it across in a plausible and believable sense. I will do that. But I want to tell you this also. I consider this true. This is me talking to you. I do consider it to be true, and I'm not afraid to speak it. Be that as it will. So the CDC says that an N95 mask won't help you if you're breathing in smoke from a wildfire. Why? What was the reasoning? Because the particles in smoke, okay, are smaller than the openings in an N95 respirator. That's what they call them, respirators, right? So they're better than those ear loop ones, right? They'll stop more stuff. But they won't stop particles from smoke because the holes are too small. The CDC announced this. What are you getting at, Otter? Did you know that a virus is many, many times smaller than a smoke particle? I don't remember the order, but it's a large order. Almost as large as my Whataburger order I get. But not that big, because that won't fit through an N95 mask. I've tried that. But you know what will fit through an N95 mask? A virus. A virus, ladies and gentlemen, will fit through the holes, the weavings of the material of the Chinese-made N95 respirators that you think are protecting you. That's a fact. It's not me. It is the CDC themselves. Because they have told us, the CDC has told us, that N95 respirators do not work against smoke particles. They will not keep smoke particles from your lungs. And again, science has told us that the size in microns of a virus is much, much smaller than that of a smoke particle. Use your head, inform yourself, make your own decisions. Mike, glad to see you. Johnny, glad to see you. Hope you were listening to that last one, because we're going to have some times, ladies and gents, where we're going to have to decide whether we're going to comply. Let that decision be yours. Because remember, mandates are not laws. Mandates are not constitutional. They are extra-constitutional. Only laws, properly legislated through the legislative branch of our government, checked, of course, by the other two, the executive and the judicial branches, and then put into the annals of law in the United States Code. Those are laws. Codified laws. Mandates to receive an experimental drug, mandates to wear an apparatus around your head and your face area, mandates to keep you distanced from your fellow human beings that we should know and love. Those are mandates, not from legitimate sources, but they are mandates attempting to change your behaviors. Why would they want to change your behavior? What is their end goal? They want to keep you from exercising your God-given rights. See, here in this country, our founding documents have recognized that rights are not diffused or issued by government. They are granted by God Himself, the Almighty. It says so right in our founding documents, ladies and gents. Read them now and again. Do yourself that favor. Read them, and you'll see that we have God-given rights. Every human being does, but the vast majority of governments throughout this world do not acknowledge that fact. Our founding fathers were genius in this. They knew that governments all the way through history have always turned towards tyranny. How do you protect a country? How do you protect the people of a country from that? You put the power in the hands of the people, we the people. Okay? And how do you put a hedge of protection around those rights? Well, you formulate founding documents. Hey, Joe. Joe's on. You formulate founding documents that establish the making and creating of laws in a country. And they also establish the rights that cannot be infringed, because they're not government given. The government cannot infringe on God's gift. God's gift to us are many. They're voluminous, okay? But the right to free speech, the right to bear arms, all the amendments, all of the Bill of Rights, ladies and gents, these are rights given to us by God upon birth. No government has any right whatsoever to infringe upon them. Don't let them. Don't let them do it. Ladies and gents, our educational system will have you think that the Constitution is a list of things government can do to you. Oh, no. No, it's quite the opposite. The Constitution is a list of limits on government. Read it, please. Read it. You'll see this perspective and why I believe it. You might argue, you might come against it, and that's fine. That's fine. Comment if you want. Give me a call. BitcoinOtter.media@gmail.com. I will entertain all arguments. Okay? I won't get ugly with you. I won't call anybody names, nothing like that. That's fine. I'll give you my reasoning and sources for why I believe what I believe. Simple as that. So, hopefully we'll be on Facebook next week, right, Joe? We'll see. Anyway, this comes from Reason Magazine. One of my favorite kids this week, okay? So, I've been having these heroes now, these newfound heroes. One was Jan Halper Hayes, right? Where she went on some British show and she told everybody how Donald Trump is smarter than we think, and how the plans of the devolutional plans of governance are in effect because of various executive orders, 13848 being one of them. Also, the Insurrection Act. Okay, look these things up, ladies and gents. Your eyes are gonna pop out of your head. Okay, they're still in existence. The resident, Mr. Biden, has not rescinded them. Makes you think, right? Anyway, so she came on, and then we had, I can't remember what the hero of the week was last week, but been a long week. But the hero of this week, ladies and gents, they don't put his last name out, and that's fine because he's 12 years old. You know, he's a little hero, but he's a real big-hearted hero. His name's Jaden. So Reason Magazine has this headline: 12-year-old boy removed from school over "Don't Tread on Me" patch. We've all seen it, right? We all know what he's talking about. Don't tread on me. Okay? What you may not have realized was it has an origin in the Revolutionary War. It's called the Gadsden flag. Okay? So it was something to basically, how would you say, articulate in an image form how they felt about what was going on between what the British imperialists, right, their empire, what they were doing to Americans here in the colonies. So it was basically acknowledging that the boot of so-called Great Britain was being used to stomp on them, right? So they were basically saying, hey, don't tread on me, with the image of the snake, because obviously who wants to step on a snake? It's going to bite you, right? So that was the reason for that whole imagery, was to say, you know, don't be stomping on me. You keep stomping on me, I'm going to bite you. And you're not going to like the results. Okay? So that was something that was initiated, created in the Revolutionary War, so that people would be able to grab on to that concept of, hey, we're not defenseless and we're not going to stand for this anymore. This is tyranny. You could say indentured servitude is slavery. You could say that. I could say that. Maybe not you. I won't bring you all into my own jackpot. But the conditions under which our forefathers here in America rebelled, to them were severe. So they acted on it. And this was out of the Revolutionary War, a symbol that was against tyranny. Now, Jaden is a 12-year-old, this is from Reason Magazine. Jaden is a 12-year-old boy who attends the Vanguard School in Colorado Springs, Colorado. He is the subject of a video that went viral on social media. It shows the boy and his mother confronting a school administrator who asserts that the Gadsden flag patch on his backpack violates district policy. And this is what the administrator, of which our educational system has way too many. Can I say that again? Way too many administrators in our educational system.
Preach it.
It is a sickness, ladies and gentlemen. We have people out there that have sick, diseased minds administrating the curricula of our youth. It is disgusting, and we need to modify this. Legally, of course. So, this administrator says, the reason that we do not want the flag displayed is due to its origins with slavery and the slave trade. Ladies and gentlemen, he or she is an administrator of a school system, okay, that kicked out a 12-year-old on a concept that is patently false. Ignorantly so. She has displayed a massive amount of ignorance, but also exposed the fact, because you know that he or she went to an institution. You might call them colleges or universities. I choose not to. You know this administrator went to an institution. That person was institutionalized, perhaps massively, perhaps to a PhD degree. We do not know. But institutionalized, obviously, to be an administrator in the institution. Okay? Now, that person never learned about the Gadsden flag. How do you suppose that happens? All that learning, all of that material, no Gadsden. Never occurred. Why? Because revolutions, at least the ones where freedom rang, are not taught in these institutions. And if they are, probably not for very long. Sort of like, and look this up please, how much time do doctors, medical doctors, how much time do they spend on nutrition and nutritious foods? You will be very surprised. I won't give you a number because I'm sure it varies to one degree or another, but it's very, very, very small. Kind of like the resident's brain. It's like about this big is how much that they use to figure out what nutritious foods, supplements, and all that are all about. All they study are pharmaceuticals. That's what they study, ladies and gents. A little bit of nutrition on the way, but nothing substantial. Look it up yourself. Don't take my word for it. Sammy, glad to see you here, buddy. Okay, this is out of Zero Hedge. Hunter Biden's firm and Vice President Biden's office exchanged over 1,000 emails. What? Joe Biden said that he didn't talk to his son about any business dealings. How could this be? Sue Zero Hedge, right? This can't be right. This report comes after an additional reporting confirmed that Joe Biden used at least 3 secret email addresses. Why would people in official capacities need secret email addresses complete with aliases? I hear that if you work for the federal government and you undergo background checks, that you're supposed to give every name that you've used to the background investigator so that they can investigate those names. I don't know that Joe was ever investigated. Anyway, it says, as vice president, using them to communicate with Hunter and his business partners to discuss Hunter's foreign business dealings. Joe Biden has repeatedly and sometimes aggressively denied any involvement with or acknowledgement or knowledge of his son's overseas business deals, a claim which has been debunked with mounting evidence in recent months. Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe anything that comes from these types of people, Al, good to see you, buddy. If you believe Joe Biden when he tells you that he never talked to Hunter about his stuff, you got to be kidding me if you believe that, okay? And you know what the fallback is for these people? The fallback is I don't know, we're having some technical difficulties here. I was live.
Yeah, it went off.
Oh, we've been cut. Maybe. Those of you listening on the radio, it may have been. We'll try to revamp the feed.
On the city. We're still on the city.
Okay, we're still on the city, everybody.
Facebook, yeah.
We're going to have to give everybody the instructions, the alternative plan, if you will. So, as you could see, as you could hear, the usual suspects are at it again. Well, they are vigilant over freedom seekers, over freedom speakers, over free people, which they do not want us to be. So I'm sure I'll get a nastygram from Facebook. I believe they just had enough, ladies and gents. They may have just had enough of truth, and they probably don't want you to hear it anymore. But again, like I said in the beginning, we're going to go on to Rumble. We're going to go on. We're going to move on, right? And don't forget, 97.7 FM The City. Okay? Unless, hopefully they won't come after Joe. But either way, we're not going to stop. We can't stop. We can't, ladies and gentlemen. We can't. I did not use any cuss words. I was not amoral in any way. I did not show any nudity. Everyone would have shut off if I did that. I know that. Anyway, I did not do anything that was out of the realm of decency, ladies and gentlemen. I made sure to inform you that I am not a financial advisor. I made sure to inform you that I did not go to any higher educational classes. I did not believe that you should believe what I believe. I do not believe that.
I just shared it to your timeline.
Thank you. So, Joe's sharing it to my timeline. Looks like we're off Facebook. But I want to tell you guys, whoever's left listening, I'm kind of proud. I knew this would happen one day or another. And I'm happy. Because it tells me that I'm on the right track. Okay, if fascists are attacking me, I'm doing the right thing. Okay? We will go and we will find legitimate sources, platforms to broadcast our message from. We will not stop. So, for those of you listening on 97.7 FM, tune in radio, okay? We're here for you. Everything else goes. My email is still good, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, okay? Everything is still good to go. We're going to investigate, see what it was, what happened, who did what, who shut us down, who may or may not have shut us down. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to be addressed. And we'll let you know via my website, via personal, whatever. We're going to get it out, all right? So, what we'll do is, we're almost near the end anyway. Ladies and gents, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for listening to this information that I'm putting out. I believe it's valuable. I believe that if we as Americans, regardless of color, regardless of creed, regardless of economic status, regardless of who we are, we're Americans, we're brothers, we're sisters, we're here for each other. If we stick together, those that wish to imprison our minds, those that wish to shackle our bodies, those that wish us harm, will be defeated, and with a quickness. I do believe that. So, unity, ladies and gents. Unity. Let us stick together, regardless of our backgrounds, regardless of all that other stuff, because it is valuable and it makes us who we are. Make no mistake. But if we preach diversity against unity, we may just find ourselves divided. I love you for you. Okay? Not where you come from, not how you look, not even your ideas. You are a creature of God. You're a child of God. I am one too. We all make mistakes. I've been commanded to love you. You may say things I don't like. I'm not going to hate you for it. I won't. That's just a fact of it. But I'll tell you what, there are people who do hate you. And those are the kind of people that kick us off Facebook. Just saying. Anyway, I have an end of show announcement here, okay? Joe, would you like to take this one, or do you want me to basically make the announcement based on the note?
Sure thing. I put up the right up on top of the screen there. So you can see that.
Okay,
Yeah,
right here?
Right there.
Is this in the way?
No, you're fine.
Okay. All right, looks like we have a women's self-defense seminar coming up. Empowering and informative self-defense seminar exclusively for women. When? Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. Where? McAllen Creative Incubator. Hey, I know where that is. That's here. 601 North Main Street in McAllen, Texas. Okay? The city is proud to sponsor this. And it's the Covenant Security Group that's putting it on, right? Covenant Security Group is putting on all-in-one. Pest Control is also involved in sponsoring this. And 97.7 FM, KCYP The City. So it has, if you're seeing this on a screen, it has a UPC symbol. You can look at that. You can, basically scan it. So just so you know, Women's Self-Defense Seminar. I'm telling you, women really do benefit from these things. It's not just the physical stuff that you'll learn and hopefully practice, because if you don't practice it, you'd be better off not even trying it. You need to practice. You need to get muscle memory, okay? So if you learn these things and it helps you feel confident, by all means, feel free to exercise the living daylights out of it. But please exercise it. Follow it. The movements, all of that stuff, keep it going, because someday it might help you. But traditionally, these types of seminars are worth their weight in gold just for the information that they're going to teach you. Small things, like the things I teach my daughter. Okay, I don't have my keys on me, but you have your keys in your hand, okay? Not in your self-defense hand. So if you're a righty, you want your keys in this hand. If you got mace, if you have whatever, you have the other hand free, okay? Even if you see somebody that might have been following you through the Walmart 10 at night, ask a security guard or an employee of Walmart, hey, can you walk me out to my car? It's right over there. I think I might have somebody follow me. I'm not sure. You don't have to point anybody out. Little things like that. Okay? Have your keys ready. Make sure it's lit wherever you park. Just those kind of things. But this seminar, I'm sure we'll have an abundance of that kind of great info.
Yeah.
So.
The info's up on the screen also. At home, they can see it on
Okay.
on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay. So on Joe's YouTube and Joe's Facebook. So your Facebook is still up?
It's still up.
Okay, good. So it's still up there. Get the info. Saturday, September 2, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This will be time well invested, ladies and gents. Time well invested. Further information, check out the 97.7 website. And Joe, what's your number, Joe?
956-789-0702.
956-789-0702. Okay, and Joe will help you with those logistics. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Thank you for watching us here on KCYP The City, 97.7 FM. We had a wonderful show today. I really enjoyed it. Even though, and probably because of, the fact that we got booted. We'll see what they tell us, and I'll keep you posted. Time to look at Rumble, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. May you be well. May your families be well. Bitcoin Otter's out. Have a great, great week.
Let's go! This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.